Don't hate me. Don't hate me. I'm literally 10 years behind on watching this movie. Cue the intro. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fandoms Anonymous. I'm here today to talk about WALL-E. WALL-E, the movie that came out in the year 2008. Yes, 2008, and it's 2018, and it's 10 years. I've not seen this movie, but I finally watched it yesterday, and what a magnificent, eye-opening movie that it was, okay? So we get WALL-E. WALL-E is the name of the name of the robot. Apparently, the By and Large, which is basically the Walmart of the Pixar universe, just did so much when it came to having trash and pollution. If you look through the seating on WALL-E, there was By and Large supermarket, By and Large gas stations, By and Large this, By and Large that, and the world became populated with so much trash that it became uninhabitable for humans to live on. So they decided to create this spaceship called the Axiom, and the Axiom was going to float around in space, and it's like built like a cruise ship. It's going to float around in space for like 5 years. Excuse me, until it was clean enough for humans to come back to Earth. And basically the WALL-E robots were there to clean up all the trash and clean up everything again to make Earth habitable again. But 700 years passed that we soon found out that it was that long. And yes, it's spoilers review, and you should be just as ashamed as me if you haven't watched WALL-E. I'm talking about what happened in the movie. Spoilers, okay? But 700 years passed. 5 years was too long, too gone. 700 years passed, and the people from Earth are still living on this Axiom ship in space. It's floating around in space. But here's the thing. 700 years later, these people weren't even born on Earth. These people were born on this ship. Those generations died out long ago, long ago. Basically, what By and Large basically did was made everything convenient, where people weren't even just doing the normal everyday stuff that they should do to keep it cleaning and keep their lives going. And I understand how By and Large can be a comparison to Walmart, but Walmart isn't that bad. I don't think. I get all my groceries from Walmart. Well, sometimes I go to other places to get groceries, but that's not the point. But it got to the point where they put them on the ship, and it just made everything convenient. They said you don't even have to walk anymore. So people were just sitting on these hover cruisers, and everybody was over 2, 3, 4, 500 pounds, just sitting and eating and watching TV all day long, not doing nothing, not walking around, not doing nothing at all. And it was sad. It was sad to see that, and sad to realize that these guys at Pixar, they depict our world so vastly in just an hour or two in an animated movie, and to think this is what our world could become. In a sense, our world is becoming this already. I mean, you have shows like My 600-Pound Life, where we're watching people this same size, that's in WALL-E. And yes, I know I'm a big guy myself, but I've had my weights up and down. I'm working on it. Joining the gym this year. I really am. My wife already joined, and I'm gonna join too. But again, to see that, it's like we're looking at that already. We're looking at the trash population. We're looking at obesity. We're looking at laziness. We're looking at people being complacent. I was about to say complacentness. That's not even a word. If it is, let me know. But we're looking at people becoming complacent and not wanting to clean up and not wanting to take care of the earth. And that's what happened in WALL-E. That can actually happen. It can actually get so bad that we can't even live in the air anymore. If you saw the movie, you know there were these dust storms, and the dust storms were just because of the ozone and because of trash and pollution. And WALL-E was tasked to clean all this up. Apparently, all the other WALL-E robots died off. But what happens is their ship looks like it was sent down every so often, and this futuristic robot named Eve, peruse around the area to find something habitable. So what she found was a actual leaf, and once she found the leaf, our programming automatically had her to get back on the ship and go back to report this information. WALL-E was living on his own with his friend, a cockroach. To let you know, cockroaches are still going to be here as long as, even after we're gone, cockroaches are still going to be here. But he was a collector, basically. WALL-E was a picker, basically. He was going through collecting things that he saw that were of importance. He was really into old 50s crooning movies and stuff like that, Singing in the Rain and those type of shows and movies. Wally was basically alone until Eve came along. And when Eve first got there, her programmer was to shoot anything, and she was just shooting up stuff until they really became to come together. And Eve ended up getting back on the ship to go back to the Axiom. Wally ended up tagging along on the ship, and it was found out that there was a program in it to not bring the humans back to Earth at all. What was supposed to last 5 years lasted 700 years. And these robots, they decided to take over the ship and try to prevent the humans from going back to Earth. But Wally and Eve, they got together and they rescued the day and they saved the day to get everybody to come back to Earth. And people came back, and even though it was still dirty and it was still trashy, they loved it. They liked what they saw, and because they had never been to Earth before, and they decided, we're going to stay here. We're going to make things a better place. So again, great movie, but I saw so much in it more than the animation and the comedy. Although the movie was freaking hilarious, and it had its good moments and bad moments. Well, I don't want to say bad moments. I'm talking about bad moments as far as the plot where things happen, where Wally were in trouble. But I didn't find anything wrong with this movie. I truly enjoyed it, and I want to know what you think about Wally. Yes, 10 years late, but we're talking about these Pixar movies and the Pixar theory all the time. So let me know what you think in the comments below about Wally. Let's talk about this, whether you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook. Don't forget, we're on the road to 100,000 views. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this content with everybody you know. And we'll see you guys in another video.